Welcome back, my fellow agents. You're listening to X7, your agent of animated awesome. It is Monday, and we will be talking about the episodes 16 through 20. Nope, that would be 17 through 20. Math has never been my strong suit. But 17 through 20, only four episodes of The Dirty Pair, or Dirty Pair, Lovely Angels. Uh, and these are, once again, they've kind of tricked us here and given us a rather touching episode at the end. So stick around and find out. And while you're at it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We love reading the comments. And let's roll. So we start out in a sewer here, and Alan Jamis, the 3WA's best trouble consultant, is dead. So essentially, the girls are trying to lure out the assassin named Sundrick, who is the best assassin in the world, and and all of them end up on a space shuttle, which is sent into a black hole. So shenanigans arise, and there's a mystery. It's kind of like, say, Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, sort of, except the girls are no Poirot. So Babel Flight 107. So are they on a journey to Babel? Hmm. So that's the name of the episode, number 17. This pop star runs into Kay, who's disguised as a sister, Bobbit Huey. Is that Baby Huey, Huey Louie, and Dewey, or Huey Lewis? You tell me. But yeah. So, and there's this guy who's a jerk. I like the shuttle here. It looks great looking ship. Not too ornate, but also not too simple. So they know who everybody is, and she's a Yuri, of course, is the flight attendant, and this guy's Nutso. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but he's the one who sets the shuttle on the course, and then he blows himself up. So now they've got to figure out how to get off there, and the only one, this guy, recognizes the angels. So Sundrick is on there. They just don't know which one of them it is. Could be any of these, but not the kid who's playing a recorder. There, so there they. That's not the white. That's a sun. Yuri sees some kind of hallucination, and Kay kicks him in the crotch. Kicks Bobbit Huey there in the crotch. He's an extraordinary lech. It's nice to see the word lech show up every once in a while. Turns out that's the Sundrick's mistress or wife or somebody and his child. She's a drug addict because, geez, what kind of drugs is she doing? But so there's a mystery, but it's played in the form of a song that the angels don't realize, except that it's "Mary Had a Little Lamb." Unfortunately, that sets off a time bomb at the end of the ship, and now we find out who Sundrick is. So there, he blew up the real, yeah. Well, I must have missed something there, but didn't suspect. So actually, there was an explosion there that kills Sundrick when the time bomb goes off, but the ship is all right. They get the. There we go. Oh, now we're into episode 13. Anyway, they get rescued. I thought there were more pictures in there, and I seem to be wrong. Sorry about that, but that's pretty much what happens. It's an adequate episode. It wouldn't be one that I would say, hey, watch this one if you want to get a really good feel of what the Dirty Pair are like. But let's go on to episode 18, where the girls bust into a hotel room and shoot it up. This guy shoots back, and it's the Hotel Abba. They're a little dirty here. They end up standing in garbage. but they've got the wrong guy. They're supposed to be at the Hotel Dada, which, it's a little misleading, sure. Yeah, trouble's on the run. So they're looking for uh, a thief named BJ, who is going to testify against a major syndicate, crime syndicate, that is. Not the crime syndicate of Earth 3, though. So now up goes. Kay must have lost their game of rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. And she gets tricked. But fortunately, Yuri's there to catch her. But they also capture DJ Doji, which apparently is also Japanese for slang for dummy. Oh, who tried to shoot Yuri, but then they have to take him to the slum police department. I thought, well, that's that, and that's hard coded, so that's what the subtitle is in the cartoon, in the episode. And there's the guy that wants him to get over there extra, but the rest, the subtitles call it the Slam Police. I kind of think Slum Police is funny, but what do I know? They've got a shock collar on him that Kay uses randomly several times. So, Thor and Ragnarok was not the first one to have that, nor was this really, I'm sure. Yeah. So they don't know why that they're after him, but yeah. See, Yuri uses it, or Kay uses the shock collar while Yuri's touching him, and that didn't work well for Yuri. But now they're on the bus, and so there's the bad. They think they're bad guys, but they're not. And now they're throwing expensive eggs. Geez, I think they just bought them this year. And they end up in the sewer, and they have a rolling ball of thunder that comes down. One plays with lightning, the other plays with stones. Yuri falls into the slimy sewer water, but just keeps going. They're having a tea break. BJ, that's his name in the subtitles, and you can hear him say that. I don't know why Wikipedia says JD on it. Who knows? Juvenile delinquent. But now they find out what's going on. But no one knows his movement, so somebody's always out to get him. So they figure it out, and it's a cop. The cops are on the take here. They don't want what BJ knows. I think it's probably to get out because it'll take a bunch of people down. So they're trying to stop him and kill him. He blasts the chief and has him ready to go. The chief says, "Do as you like. You were right. He's going to regret that." So they've hijacked this tanker and they just crashed through it. She didn't really say that, but I mean, come on, she should have. And now he's mad at him for acting without thinking. And they're like, "You told us what to do." And then the police department falls down. And they decide their best course of action is to run away, run away. All right. That was episode 18. Now we're in episode 19. And this is one that's pretty interesting. Actually, these two are actually quite touching, although this one's a little more soap opera-y and not a little very predictable. So they're foiling a plot here, and this guy. And so while they're blowing up this guy's base and destroying his plans, and we see, I don't even know what this guy's name is. Let's see. Lord Raymond. His name's Raymond. They call him that. And he's in love with his doll, Meshzera. And then while they're escaping, their pod gets shot. They stop him, though. But they have to abandon it, and it falls down, of course, right onto and destroys his doll. So now he wants to kill the murderer of the doll, and the chief is pretending like he doesn't know who it is. And they're like, "Nope, don't know anything." Off they go. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to play this, and just again, rock paper scissors lizard Spock. I did like this line from Yuri. So they're going to try to seduce him and show him that a real woman's love is much better than a fake woman. They don't know anything about him. So now but he's nuts. About at least at this point in time. He also, there they are. They're all nicely dressed, but he has he gets dizzy and has an allergy about women. It's not psychosomatic, or he doesn't turn mute, selective mute, but he's not Raj. This guy's still after him, Mr. Dios. So they found out where the lovely angels are, and after off they go. And Yuri just says, "Yeah." I think that took Kay by surprise a little bit, but a woman touches him and he goes crazy. So I don't. They give some weirdo excuse, but he gets drunk. Then he recuperates. Nice submarine that's there. Those are the bad guys. But she likes you. You can tell. Okay, so you let me work for you despite your allergy to women. And the girls are trying to cook for him, but see, she's not touching him, so she knows him, right? She's been with him, I don't know, 6 months or so. The girls sabotage each other's food, and then they feed it to these guys. But Kay touches him because they've got to run, and off he goes. He hulks out essentially, and he throws this around. Kay gets shot. Dun dun dun. But now he thinks she's dead, and then he just, never get close to somebody you think's dead in a cartoon or a movie or a television show, because they never are. I mean, unless it's the final 2 minutes, and even then. But you can see she has literally been shot, so she's bleeding. She's off a cliff, and he's threatening to kill the guy, and he knocks her down because he was shooting at his lovely assistant, who now he can touch without turning violent. And he falls in love. Now he realizes love has been in front of him all the time. This could have been a Hallmark movie channel movie. But they're not worried that he's still sneezing a little bit, but he's canceled the contract, so the girls don't have to kill themselves or tell them that it's them. So they're all happy. The end. Oops. And that is the end of this part because my numbering went awry. We'll go back here to end that way, and join me momentarily. So here is our final episode 20, and this one I really liked. It's a little predictable. I mean, kind of see where the end is going to what the end's going to be like, but it's a good job because you see the girls here standing, and then it's kind of told in flashback. But I like the way they do this. They show this picture that you don't really know what's going on, and then they start the show, which is Memorial Blues is the BGM of murder. Background music. Yeah, BGM right there. So, episode 20. And they're still tilted, and they're sending to a Salabine gift, which is monocle or handcuffs. And they're annoyed that they have to go. That's Yuri is telling Kay that. The handcuffs, once you handcuff him, if the bad guy takes his off or breaks it, it'll blow up in 60 seconds. So they're on a planet with dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals. Not real ones, but active volcanoes with a monorail. If you're on a ride with a monorail and dinosaurs are around, nothing bad's going to happen, right? Not in the history of the universe. But they won't let them land because their reputations got ahead of them. But this guy gives them a ride on this semi-Styracosaurus, except that it's not. It's closer to Tundra, really. It's got all kinds of spikes and things. This is the Creamy Girl contest, which is pretty darn Creamy Girl contest. Let's see. So they run into a biker gang, or what constitutes a biker gang, on the planet Salabine. Wikipedia says Saladin, but I like Salabine better. And that thing can move. Actually, it looks closer to a thoat. Read your Edgar Rice Burroughs, kids. And Kay and Yuri, yeah, this guy's a jerk. And she's like, nope. So I saved this because William Shatner apparently has a club here on Salabine. Good Vices. I don't even want to know why it's called that. But they're in a bar, and guess who shows up? And the girls don't pay any attention to them. And guess what happens? A bar fight starts. And both of them beat the stuffing out, but then the rest of the bar gets into it. Painful. And then this guy, who, we knew who it was because they show him, but grabs her by the arm and actually lifts her up. Yeah, yeah. Kay is rambunctious, reckless. Yuri's a lot more thoughtful. Suddenly, the helicopter gets blasted out of the sky by this. They've found Blues, the assassin. And Kay has hot headedly snapped the cuffs on. And it looks like it's right arm to right arm, which was probably also not a good idea of hers. So, but he tells him that he's going to kill the guy that threw his mother into a sea of fire, which is this guy here, Colonel Sanders look-alike. They want a different story. They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But he has to go to the bathroom, and he drags Kay in there. Kay has a lot of choice words for Yuri, but she just laughed. And he said, "Don't." And Blues says, "Don't, just relax. I'll go with you, and you have to go." You would think that in the future you'd be over that by now, because yeah. So there they are at the Miss Creamery, creamy ice cream. It's ice cream, and they're watching them. Kay's now another attendant on the monorail, but she sees the one of the gang members, but they're going to prime an explosion there to make the volcano go off. And she was help. She wasn't going to, but now she feels they've forged a rapport, both of them. Yeah, I'm going to take her word for that, but it did save her life. See that that's lava. The floor is lava, ill-tempered lava, and yep, yeah. So we don't. I don't even know if they said why, but then Kay gets caught. Melpot is his name. Of course, then she stomps him on the foot, or not Kay, but Yuri gets caught. She stomps him on the foot. Kay blasts his gun, and I'm sure destroys his hand because that's not a bullet. They threaten to drop him, and he spills the tea right away. And Blues jumps on there with his bomb. He breaks the bracelet, jumps on there, and we know what's going to happen. I mean, we kind of saw it coming because he didn't want that guy to get away because he's the head. He's blowing up his own place for the insurance money, and kaboom! And it's the whole heel face turn. He's gone from being the guy that they were arresting to someone that they wanted to help out, but still had to arrest. And he took things out. And it is the way it was the best way for the episode to him to end because he didn't have to go to jail and he got his revenge because the whole thing falls into a lake of fire. So they have to save the people on the monorail. Monorail. What's that called? Monorail. And they barely do. And there's a bunch on. But see, unfortunately, yeah. So there's the bracelet. This is how we start the episode. I think the subtitles should have said complicated, or I don't know. But I don't know what the actual word is. One of those times I still wish, well, many times I still wish Mr. Owari was with us. He would have been able to tell me. And there we have it. So that is the end. I mean, again, it's another touching episode. I didn't like the previous one, episode 19, as much because you could see it coming a mile away. But this one surprised me, and they didn't do anything maudlin. Wasn't nearly as love had been there all along. That he didn't get to live, so it's touching in its own way, and that's how it ends. So, and that's how we're going to end here today, my fellow agents, with these 4 episodes. I did discover I needed to get episode 24 again. And while I did it, I got 25 and 26. So we are going to split the final 2 episodes into 3 episodes each, much like we're doing with Robot Detective on Thursday. So more content, more Dirty Pair coming up. All right. So this has been your lovely angels for this episode. And this is X7 signing off. Until our next assignment, I'll be phasing out.
にゃりっこ兄よ気色悪いわねポッポ私は経緯がわからないハネムーンいいかったたくおとといの夢に浸り続けられるあんたが羨ましい次回ハネムーンはハワイちょっといつまでボケてんの間違えないで 消えた463人。早く夢から覚めてよ。